Well, you have those people that are out there missing. They're alone out there. And then you have those that are taken. And that's what this show's about. To be honest, we need to start caring. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about who is who. Everybody matters out there. The missing are a huge diversity of people. They're young, they're old, they're mothers, they're fathers, they're children.
Welcome, my friends. Please push subscribe and like this moment so you don't forget. Also, hit that notification bell if you would like notifications whenever I have new uploads. So let's go ahead and get started. So we call this Talking News. I'm also chasing a murder, and I also go by Debbie. So how many people remember the story on Shantay Bryla? I think they're calling her Chanti on here, but this story we covered, we knew there was something wrong, but it took police forever. It was part of that the Chicago women that I was trying to cover. You know, in Chicago, they're dealing with a lot of women that are coming up missing, and it's just something that's not really addressed. And this is where I try to actually bring light to Chicago and the fact that so many of those women there was no answers for them. There's been so many problems with women being strangled in Chicago that they wonder if there is a serial killer on the loose. And so right now we do have an update on one of those Chicago women that I was trying to cover. And this news story is pretty perfect. I don't think I'm going to have to say a word. Here you go. I'm running it now.
They finally know who killed her. CBS News' Chris Ty is always investigating and steps through the grueling police work that led to the arrest.
The last person to see Shantay Bryla alive was her regular cab driver, dropping her off here to her Southside apartment on March 15th. 2 weeks earlier, she'd kicked Marvin Bailey out of her place. But the very next day after that cab ride, he was back, alone with her for 12 hours until he and a friend took an Uber to this nearby Walmart, where they bought bungee cords and plastic ties. 2 hours later, this time using a lift car, the defendant and his friend left the apartment with a massive blue bin with wheels on it. In the day that followed, prosecutors say they made their way to a vacant apartment building with that bin, collecting Bailey's green truck in the process, all while stopping to eat and drink, police say, using Bryla's ATM card to fund it. The next day, en route to this Calumet Park hotel, where they would camp out for several nights, they were pulled over. This court document says the defendant and his friend, witness 3, were detained by police. The officers were told the defendant and friend were on their way to Home Depot to get a chainsaw. This was on body cam video. The defendant and his friend released without any citations, and the green van was not searched. They continued on. A broken elevator at the hotel left them carrying that blue bin up 3 flights of stairs. During their stay, the manager reported smelling cleaning solution. That same week at 4 a.m., surveillance video shows Bailey using a dolly to move the bin behind this strip mall where these dumpsters sit. His return trip captures him with no bin. Days later, a strip mall worker noticed a large black bag where it didn't belong in that dumpster. Bailey now charged with her murder. Though the body has never been found, the blue bin did have her DNA inside, and blood evidence found inside that hotel room, inside her apartment, and that green van. Her friend tonight telling CBS 2,
the biggest thing that comes to the mind of all of us is, why did it take so long?
To find that body, police actually scoured an Indiana landfill where that dumpster is emptied. Nothing was found there. What is the connection, you may ask, between these two individuals? Shantay had a child with Marvin Bailey's father. Bailey, by the way, was out on parole for hitting an ex-girlfriend with a hammer and then setting her on fire. He is being held this afternoon without bond. Live in the newsroom, Chris Ty, CBS 2 News.
So this is very sad news because I remember seeing her young son out there holding up signs and begging for people to help him find her. So they are suspecting that she's no longer here. But I do have a question. What was she thinking? She knew that man's background. It was not squeaky clean, and it was a signs of a person you do not want to be around. And so she kicked him out, and then somehow he come back, and of course we're not getting all the details on that. So yes, she has this guy in her apartment with her children, her family. He has this dark background, and so this is like playing Russian roulette, guys. Women, come on. I realize finances are hard right now. I mean, the cost of living is very hard right now, especially for a working woman. One that might not have a college background, especially for those women. But never ever get so desperate that you take in somebody with a background such as this guy. And I want to suggest, guys, if you're going to move somebody in your home, make sure you do a background check. If there's any type of red flags for your safety, you best avoid that person. Especially if you have children. Those children depend on you. They love you. They need you. So now she's no longer there. They suspect she's no longer going to come, that she's coming back. And they pretty much know what they've done, with Shantay. But again, like the Kelsey Barrett, they're lacking the physical evidence. And I just don't understand this world today, that there are more and more people that find it easy to not only take the life of others, but they can take and pull them apart piece by piece. It's just heartless, and it's something that I can't grasp onto, and I know that most of you are not able to understand it either. So where are all these people coming from? Now, I was going to do this story, but tell it through my words, but this guy did pretty much, he told a perfect story, so kudos to him. I decided just to run his entire story. It was so perfect. Because one of my things I like to do when I do these stories is try to find those details that you can't find and add them to the stories already out there. But I'm telling you guys, I am very sad to hear that they have confirmed that most likely she is not coming back. And those concerns are mostly for her son, that poor child. So again, I want to remind ladies to please be prepared. Have mace. Don't trust people, and don't move people into your home that have a red flag. Stay in the light, especially at nighttime. Like Anaya Blanchard, she was traveling to a public place. It was pretty open, it was lit, but still, she was not safe. I finished an Anaya Blanchard video, but I'm having trouble getting that uploaded. So right now, my son is helping me put together a little office in the closet, so that way we can record without any background noise. And he's let me use one of his old computers, and from there I'm gonna probably purchase some software, it's gonna probably be like a investigative type software to where we can it's easier for me to collect information instead of having to depend on other people's information, and I have to double check that, and then sometimes getting a hold of people to get it from the source is not so easy. But I'm thinking by sometime in the new year, we're going to be able to be set up a little bit better to complete these stories, hopefully a little faster, and make research a whole lot easier. So as you know, I have this thing with mics, and I don't know what the deal is. I think they're just not made that well anymore. So right now I'm having to search for a new mic. again. So this might be like the 10th one. It's something like that. And I just don't know if I want to put the money into a desktop mic, because what I read was those mics are basically as good as the cheaper ones I'm using, minus they have like the audio software and stuff that you can tweak them and that kind of thing, but we'll see. I really like my mic to be interchangeable and able to go wherever I go. Now, before I go, I also want to mention we will be having a giveaway. Finally, I figured out what date to do it, and I think I'm going to do it on Christmas Eve. So right now, I'm trying to figure out in what way are we going to give this away. So how are we going to choose who gets it? Anyways, it's really kind of like a supportive thing anyways. So the cups and shirts will probably have a small logo from this channel, but mostly the faces of the few girls. Probably put all 3 of their faces on the cup or t-shirt. And so you can be a walking bulletin board to help get their faces out there. So I think that's an excellent gift to those families, and I think it's, something that's going to help, I hope. So anyways, I kind of at loss of words today. My sister has hydrocephalus. I hope I said that right. And it's something we just found out that she has. And she's been in and out of the hospital. So I actually kind of had a little trouble sleeping. But, those are things we go through in life. But I'm kind of like still not awake trying to make this video. Also, today in Florida, it's like 74 degrees. Guys, that's cold for Orlando. Alrighty, guys, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and close out here. At least we're getting answers on Shantay, and I hope that they're able to recover some type of physical evidence for her sake. I mean, we did see justice for Kelsey Barrett without it, but the truth of the matter is he would have seen the death penalty if they had been able to recover more than they did. We definitely need to have harsher punishments, and we need to send out, that message that if you commit this crime, you will pay. Alright, so I want to thank you guys so much for supporting this channel, supporting these girls most of all, and getting those faces out there, because without you, we wouldn't be doing much of anything. So anyways, love you guys very much, and I'll see you guys soon.